Now, baby, will you stop worrying? There's nothing to be afraid of.
Are you sure, Frank? I can't help being scared.
Have I ever lied to you? My lawyer's working on an appeal right now. He'll take it direct to the territorial governor. He feels there's a very good chance he can get a reduction of your sentence. Perhaps even a pardon.
But what if he can't?
At the very worst, you'll have to serve 18 months. Baby, I said at the very worst. Whether it's 18 days or 18 months, I'll be working for you all the way. That's a promise, Renee.
You'll write to me.
Sure.
Time's up, Fallon.
What's the hurry, Sheriff?
You asked for 5 minutes, you've had it. The sooner she gets to Yuma, the sooner her time starts. And maybe she'll find out what kind of a deal you roped her into.
You're pretty free with your mouth, aren't you?
You know you're the one I should be taking to Yuma.
Suspect what you like, Sheriff. Proving it, that is something else.
We'll see. Out.
I'll be working for you, day and night.
I'll be working, too. Like you said, proving it is the important part. You better get some rest. We'll be leaving in half an hour.
An actual account from the pages of my newspaper, the Tombstone Epitaph. This is the way it happened. In the town too tough to die. Tombstone territory. Renee Carter had been tried and found guilty of armed robbery and assault in a recent Tombstone holdup. Sheriff Clay Hollister was preparing to deliver her to the territorial prison at Yuma, where she had been ordered to serve a sentence of 18 months for committing the crime.
Oh, Harris.
Expecting trouble?
I hope not.
How's she taking it?
Yeah, she still expects Fallon to get her sentence reduced or commuted.
And they'll live happily ever after, huh?
Yeah, something like that.
Clay?
Yeah?
I know how you feel about Fallon, and I agree he's no good, but...
But what?
Well, it is possible he had nothing to do with robbing and slugging Rogers. Maybe the girl's story is true. She did it by herself.
Harris, what did Doc Cunningham say about Rogers' injuries?
Just that he was hit with something heavy.
Hard enough to fracture his skull. Not one blow, but 4. Lacerations on his scalp prove that.
What's your point?
I've known some pretty hardcore women in my time. I just don't think that Renee Carter's one of them.
Well, her purse was found practically under his body.
That proves that she was there, but not that she did the beating.
Well, if she didn't, she's crazy to stick with that story. Rogers is still in critical condition. Doc Cunningham gives him less than a 50-50 chance. If Rogers dies...
I know. The charge against her would be murder.
What are we waiting for?
Nothing at all. See you at the end of the week.
Right.
Fresno. Whoop.
Right? I guess you ain't very sentimental. Just rode by the law coming into town. Looked like they were taking your girlfriend to Yuma prison.
Couldn't be. My girlfriend's right here. Pour us a drink, will you, honey?
Boy, you sure are something, Frank.
It's right. Don't you ever forget it.
I don't know about you, but I'm getting a little bit hungry. Well, come on. A little food will do you some good. You can rest inside out of the sun.
How far are we going today?
Pantano? Spend the night there, get an early start in the morning.
Will I have to stay in the jail there overnight?
I'm afraid the county doesn't provide funds for hotel rooms, even for female prisoners.
Sheriff? Is Yuma very bad?
It's a prison, Miss Carter. 2 years can seem like an awful long time in a place like Yuma.
Frank will get me out.
Maybe. Must be quite a man, this Frank fella.
And what is that supposed to mean?
Oh, nothing in particular. Just thinking out loud. Wondering, you might say.
About what?
About what Fallon must have offered you to get you to risk being hanged.
Hanged?
Sure. Rogers dies, it's murder.
He is going to die.
He's still in a coma. He may never recover consciousness. About time we got going.
Sheriff,
Yes, ma'am?
if that man, Rogers, if he does die,
You'll be brought back to Tombstone to stand trial for murder.
he wouldn't.
Yes, they would. And Fallon will let you take that rap, too. Yeah, he's quite a man.
You don't give up, do you, Sheriff?
Nope.
Oh, Clay, how are you?
Dave?
Is this your prisoner?
Yeah? Renee Carter.
Well, I'll be.
Would you lock me up now, Marshal? I'm tired. I'd like to be alone.
Oh, yes, ma'am. It's a pleasure, ma'am. I mean, right this way, miss. We don't get many women here, miss. If you need anything, miss, just holler.
She will. Some blankets draped around the bars.
Hmm?
Give the lady some privacy.
Oh, sure.
Dave. Huh? The door.
There you are, gentlemen. Read 'em and weep.
Tough luck, fellas.
You brought me luck, baby.
By the looks of that stack, Fallon, there must be some truth to the old adage about gamblers.
What are you talking about?
Lucky at cards, unlucky in love.
Your eyes must be going bad, Clyburn.
I've just come from the telegraph office.
Some other time, newsman. How about some blackjack?
Judge Leary sent a telegraph order to the sheriff. The order was for Hollister to bring Renee Carter back to Tombstone.
Bring her back?
To stand trial for murder.
Rogers.
Died this afternoon. I thought you would like to know.
It's got nothing to do with me.
I was under the impression Renee Carter was a friend of yours.
When it comes to murder, Clyburn, I've got no friends. Male or female.
Too bad. She's going to need a friend. Maybe when she finds out she hasn't got one, she'll change her mind.
About what, Editor?
About a lot of things. Ought to be a very interesting trial. Good evening, gentlemen.
Not now, not now.
I don't like it, Fallon.
She isn't back yet.
Miss Carter,
I'm ready.
take your time. You're going to be here for a while.
Why?
I got a couple of wires. One last night and one this morning. The first was from Judge Leary ordering you back to Tombstone. Rogers died yesterday.
Oh, no.
The second was from a friend of mine. It seems that Fallon and Blake left Tombstone this morning, headed in this direction.
Frank's coming to help me. Maybe the governor has approved my appeal.
There hasn't been time for that. Fallon isn't coming to help you. He's going to try to kill you.
July 8, 1889. The road to Pantano, Arizona Territory.
I spotted a dozen good places, Frank. We keep going, we'll be clear to Pantano.
I know what I'm doing. There's a spot about 10 miles outside of Pantano. Road cuts off in the hills. A lot of big boulders.
All right, you're the boss.
Well, it took some doing, but I got it. Yeah, that ought to do just fine. I'd like to borrow your hat and cape for a few hours.
What for?
It's a little plan I've got to prove to you how much Fallon really thinks of you.
What do you mean?
You think he's going to save you. I think he's going to kill you.
Still trying, Sheriff.
You ought to be glad he is, miss.
You see, I figure if I can prove to you that Fallon is using you to save his neck, you might tell the truth about the robbery.
I told the truth.
I don't think so.
If Frank tries to free me, that doesn't mean that he has anything to do with...
And if he tries to kill you?
All right, Sheriff. But you're wasting your time.
time is it?
20 past 1.
You think maybe Hollister knows we're waiting?
Not unless he's a fortune teller. All right, get down the road. We'll hit him from 2 angles.
Right. Remember, I ain't shooting at the girl, just the sheriff.
All right, so go on.
Up, Rowdy.
Come on, let's go.
Up, Rowdy. Convinced?
Not exactly. After all, you
Could have done it myself? Is that what you were going to say? Dave Short is taking Blake's body over to the Undertaker right now. Would you like to see it?
No.
Do you think I arranged that too? Blake and Fallon put those holes in your cape and nobody else.
Is Frank?
No, he's all right. He's probably halfway back to Tombstone by now. With you dead, he's got nothing to worry about.
I want to see Frank, Sheriff. Let's get started back for Tombstone.
What for? So he can lie to you again? So he can ruin your life to save his own? What does it take to convince you? Look, Renee, we know that Ed Rogers was having a winning streak at Frank's table. Won almost $1,000. So Frank told you to get the old man alone, that he wanted to talk to him, didn't he? Fallon and Blake did the beating, didn't they?
I want to see Frank.
All right. All right. Right now, Fallon thinks you're dead. We're going to give him a surprise he'll never forget. Get your things together. We're going back to Tombstone as soon as I can send a wire.
Been somewhere, Fallon?
What's it to you?
Nothing. Nothing at all. Just wondered if you'd heard the news.
Why don't you go peddle your papers?
Too bad about Renee Carter. But I guess it's all for the best.
How was that?
She's dead. The wire came a couple of hours ago from Pantano. Seems it was your friend Blake who was mixed up in the Rogers killing. You heard Sheriff Clay Hollister was bringing her back here to stand trial. He must have decided to shut her up for good.
Well, newsman, what do you know? The ladies are thirsty, so keep it coming. Yes, sir, Frank Fallon knows how to treat his friends. I've got one simple little rule. My friends treat me right, I treat them right. I always say, you treat people right, and they're your friends. Frank Fallon hasn't got an enemy in the world. No, sir.
You've got one, Fallon. And that one's gonna hang you.
I'm getting fed up with you, Hollister.
No, I haven't even started on you yet.
You got
You're
no
under arrest
Arrest?
for the murder of Ed Rogers.
Renee Carter murdered Rogers, and you know it.
Why did you offer to help her? How about that appeal to the governor?
What appeal? Why don't you check for yourself and see, Hollister? There's nothing like that there. Not that my lawyer knows about.
Oh. Harris.
How did you...
How did she what, Fallon? Come back to life after you killed her?
A trick. A lousy trick.
Mm-hmm. And you fell for it. You thought you'd killed the only person who could convict you of murder.
And I will, Frank. I'll help them put that rope around your neck. It was just like you thought, Sheriff. Exactly. Only after I got Ed Rogers alone, and Frank and Blake started beating him, I fainted. When I woke up, Frank was carrying me to my room. I'd lost my purse. Or someone took it.
Oh, baby, you're not going to listen to the things this man's been telling you. Look, honey, this is Frank. Why, I'd do anything for you. You know that.
Then hang for me.
Let's go, Fallon.
No. No?
Hard or easy. Any way you want it.
Oh, I could kill you, baby.
Clay?
What did Leary say?
He's all for it. So's the town council.
Let's go tell her. Renee.
Is something wrong?
No, ma'am, something's right. Judge Leary has agreed to review your case.
Practically insisted.
But why?
Justice isn't really blind, Miss Carter. Your only crime was in covering up for Fallon.
You see, you helped the law, so now the law's trying to help you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be, whistle a tune that'll carry me to Tombstone territory. If your past has run afoul of the law, it's a handy place to be, 'cause your future's just as good as your draw in Tombstone territory. Whistle me up a memory. Whistle me back where I wanna be. To Tombstone territory.
Yeah.
Need any help?
No, thanks, Harris. I'm all packed. Yeah, I guess I won't be needing this for a while.
Stop looking so glum. You earned this vacation the hard way.
Vacation. You know this is old Doc Cunningham's idea. You'd think to hear him talk that I didn't have another good hand.
Look, you've got a good deputy with two hands. You've never taken any time off before, so why don't you just relax and enjoy it?
Yeah. Well, remember, though, if you need me for anything, I'll be staying at the Travers Ranch in Tucson, convalescing.
Tracy meeting you there? You may decide to convalesce forever. Well, give her my best.
All right.
An actual account from the pages of my newspaper, the Tombstone Epitaph. This is the way it happened. In the town too tough to die. Tombstone territory. Tucson, June 4, 1883.
What'd you hurry, mister? Wanted to beat the stage into Tucson. Then make it? Mm-hmm. Like a couple of minutes. You Ed Keel, ain't you? That's right. They gonna hang Willie? They already did. Well, I kind of figured it would. What I read in the Tombstone paper. Can't say as I'm surprised, though. Stick around, Sheriff. You may get a surprise yet. Don't forget what happened to Willie. I don't plan to forget. But you got enough to do in your own town, Hollister?
How you doing, Ike?
Stop one, huh?
Yeah. Say, you haven't seen Tracy Travers around here, have you?
Tracy?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's her buckboard over there by the post office. Picking up a mail, more like it.
Thanks.
You staying in Tucson?
Yeah, Travers' house. Why?
Well, this town ain't run like other towns. I run it nice and quiet and peaceful like.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm here.
Well, don't make it too long. Word gets out that you're here not wearing a badge. Every gunslinger in Arizona will come here looking for you.
Well, don't you worry, Ike. If there's trouble, I'll protect you.
Bills, 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 bills. They're all bills.
Miss Travers.
Clay!
Easy now. Think on somebody your own size.
Your arm, I forgot. Oh, I'm so sorry.
I'm not. Care to try again?
Clay, absolutely not. Look, you're an invalid. You're actually a convalescent.
Oh, you haven't changed a bit.
Your arm's getting better, isn't it?
Yeah, Doc says all it needs is a little rest.
Well, now that doesn't sound very convenient. Just wait till Father sees you. He's gonna compare that arm of yours to all the wounds he got to get. You big oaf! Why don't you watch where you're going?
Oh, I'm sorry, miss. You should take better care of your boyfriend.
Well, you deliberately walked right into
That's
him.
all right, Tracy. There's no harm done.
You're, Clay Hollister, right?
That's right.
I owe you something, lawman. I'm gonna pay up now.
Come on, Clay, let's go now.
No, honey. Let's hear what the man has to say.
The rest of my talk comes out of a gun.
Clay's just trying to bait you. He knows that your gun arm is useless.
You're always ready to shoot when you're wearing your badge. How come you're not interested now?
All right, outside.
Clay, no. You've got no right to challenge a handicapped man that way.
That's right, honey. Take good care of him. Big, brave sheriff from Tombstone can't hide behind his badge. He has to hide behind a woman.
Now, this is just what I mean. Nice, quiet, peaceful town. You show up and the dust starts dancing. Go on, get out of here. Well, I'll try to see that it doesn't happen again. Now, who's your nice, quiet, peaceful citizen?
Oh, that's Ed Keel. Willie Keel's brother.
Oh, I see. I bring in Brother Willie, so he decides he wants to settle the score, huh?
Well, he figures that if you hadn't brought him in, Willie probably wouldn't got hung. Can't say as I blame him.
Sheriff, for heaven's sakes. Willie Keel shot down 2 innocent men in cold blood, and he was a killer. What do you mean?
Now, forget about it, Tracy. Come on.
You know the trouble with you, Hollister? You've been getting too much attention in Tombstone. You're getting so you can't get along without it. I think...
Sheriff Downey, I think you talk too much.
The latest addition to the Travers family.
Quite a family.
Oh, Father and I have wonderful plans for the ranch, Clay.
Oh.
Just wait till you see what I've done to the house. I completely redecorated the place with my own 2 hands. I painted the walls, I scraped the floors, and I made brand new curtains and slip covers.
Mm.
And I even embroidered a beautiful new lace wagon wheel for the buckboard.
Sounds wonderful. You embroidered a lace what?
Mr. Hollister, your thoughts were 1,000 miles away.
Oh. Oh, ma'am, just a couple miles back.
With that big oaf in the post office, I suppose? Now, look, Clay, will you forget about him now? You're not a lawman anymore. You're on a vacation. You've got no badge, you've got no worries, and you just don't have time for troublemakers.
And as long as I'm not wearing that badge, he's going to be campaigning for a showdown.
But you can't accept any challenges. Your right arm is useless.
All right. Now show me the ranch house with embroidered wagon wheels and all.
Incidentally, you know I expect a complete set of overwhelming compliments about my decorating. Now, you realize that, don't you?
Naturally. You're a woman.
Now, of course, the living room curtains aren't exactly the color that I wanted.
Tracy.
And the slip covers could fit a little more tightly.
What about the windows?
Sure. I washed every one of them this morning just for you.
I think you kind of overdid it.
Oh, no. I can't believe it. How could it happen? Clay, why did it happen? You see, I told you they didn't fit.
Honey, where are the ranch hands?
Out with the cattle, I guess they would. Dad? Dad? Oh, no. Oh, no.
Help me get him on the sofa, Tracy.
Clay, I think he's coming around.
The other rooms haven't been touched. I'll take a look around outside.
Tracy?
Right here, Dad. Don't just lie still. You'll be fine.
No. Can't lie still. I gotta get that fella. I gotta get him.
Did you know who he was, Mr. Travers?
Hey. Who's that?
That's Clay Hollister.
Clay? Oh.
Yes, sir.
Oh, howdy, Clay, howdy. Hey, Clay, that fella get you too?
Oh, no, sir. I got mine someplace else.
Oh, this is a fine welcome we give our house guest. You know, Clay, Tracy's a much better housekeeper than this as a rule.
You just lie easy. You'll feel better.
I can't lay around on my shoulder blades all day. Come on, Tracy, give me a hand up. Give me...
No.
Well, all right, I'll do it myself. Oh. Maybe you're right. I haven't felt this bad since
Gettysburg.
Shiloh. I got hit in the back of the head with a rifle in Shiloh.
Oh, Dad, wasn't it the bayonet wound in the arm?
Then it didn't happen. Yes, I wasn't.
He's feeling much better.
I feel awful.
Sir, can you tell us how it happened?
Clay, I just came in here. I was going to do some bookwork, see, and then this fellow was in here, and he was smashing up the furniture, and he was breaking the windows and tearing the curtains.
What did he look like?
Oh, he's a big man. Big he was, yeah. It looked like he might have been a saddle tramp, maybe renegade. Anyway, it was somebody didn't get around to a wash basin very often. Oh, and he had a kind of a sort of gritty voice, you know. Yeah.
That sounds like your friend, Clay.
Friend? Oh, yeah. He knew Clay all right. He kept saying I'm fixing the place up for Clay Hollister. That dirty coyote. Oh, look what he's done to us, Tracy. All of your work, all of your hard work.
I'll find him, Mr. Travers.
He'll do no such thing.
I didn't hear any. He was smashing and busting things up, and I couldn't do a thing to stop him, not a thing. He just kept laughing at me and then pushing me around. And then I was going to go in there and get my rifle, and well, that's when everything stopped. Just like Gettysburg.
Shiloh, Father.
Mind your manners.
Clay.
If you lend me a horse, I'll be back in a little while.
Oh, you're not going anywhere without me. You've got to help me get Father to the doctor right away.
What are you talking about? I don't need no doctor.
Well, I think you do.
Just talking about it. Just got a little old headache. I never felt better in my life.
Look, I'll ride into town and bring the doctor out here.
Oh, but there's not time for that. Now, no arguments, Father. We've got to get you there right now. Come on, Clay.
Oh, this is a bunch.
Come on.
Anytime you want to settle things, Hollister. Anytime at all.
That's him, Clay. I'd like to take a horsewhip to you, you yellow coward, you.
First things first, old man. Hollister's on the top of the list.
Clay, please don't let him do this to you. Clay, you haven't got a chance with your arm like that.
Don't turn around. Drop the gun. Now! Attempted murder, assault with a deadly weapon, breaking and entering, destroying personal property. That ought to be worth about 5 years. Where's your horse?
Over there.
Move.
You know, I don't need a doctor anymore, honey.
You're still going, Dad.
No. That's the best cure I ever did see. I tell you, I never felt better. Drive easy, drive easy.
We'll see you at the doctor's office later, Clay.
It won't be long.
You're stepping a little out of bounds, ain't you, Hollister?
I'd like you to arrest this man, Ike.
You take your prisoners in Tombstone. I'll take them here.
Now, look, if you need formal charges, Tracy and her father will sign them.
What charges?
Attempted murder, assault with a deadly weapon, breaking and entering, damaging personal property.
He's just trying to put me out of his way, Sheriff.
You scared of him, Clay?
Yeah, I'm scared stiff. Now, you're going to lock him up, or aren't you?
Look, no pipsqueak sheriff in another county is going to tell me how to run my
I'm not
town.
talking as a lawman now. I'm a private citizen. If you don't do your duty as a sheriff, you're liable for citizen's arrest. And I got your whole nice, quiet town as my witness.
Well, I still need charges. And I need them signed.
Well, if you can write them, I'll sign them. Left-handed.
All right, I reckon you're under arrest. Come on.
Well.
Yeah.
How'd everything go?
Fine. Never felt better in my life.
Our doctor said it was just a bad bruise, nothing more.
Yeah. There's a smart young fella in there.
Huh?
Oh, yeah, Clay, he used to be an army doctor. Yeah. Yep, he fought at the Battle of Shiloh, too.
Oh? He remember you?
No. No, he, of course, I did most of my fighting around Gettysburg.
Clay, did you get Keel locked up?
Ah, yeah, much against Downey's better judgment. He wants you folks to drop down there and sign some papers.
We'll do it, but you know, I still say you should have gunned him down when you had the
Now,
chance
look,
to be...
I'm on vacation.
Well, but...
That's right, and look, while we're here, why don't you have the doctor take a look at your arm?
It's a good idea.
Yeah.
Right now?
Well, there's somebody in there now, but when he comes out, we'll go in.
All right, honey.
Good.
Might speed things up.
Yeah, sure. Oh, well, sit down here. It'll only be a short wait.
Well? Hollister giving you a hard time, huh?
Not near what I'm going to give him.
I don't know. You're dealing with a pretty big man. Built up quite a reputation in the territory. You don't seem right, though. First your brother, now you.
Well, you're helping him. You did what he told you. You locked me up.
Had to. Formal charges. I got other ideas about taking orders from the sheriff of Tombstone.
What do you mean?
I mean, I may be able to let you out of here if we can reach an agreement.
What kind of an agreement?
Well, Hollister ain't the law here in Tucson. I am. I like the town nice and quiet. If anyone has something they want to settle, I want them to settle it fast. Then I want them out of town.
You got an agreement.
For your information, I'm always within the law. I got you a lawyer. Here's your gun. Wouldn't want to send you out on the street without one, the way he feels about you. Besides, a man's got a right to protect himself. Oh, your horse is out back. I didn't have time to unsaddle him.
Clay. Just take a look out there.
Clay, you just stay right in here. He'll get tired of waiting outside.
You want to bet?
Clay. Clay, give me one of your guns. Go on, give it to me. I haven't had a gun in my hand since Shiloh.
Gettysburg?
No, Shiloh. That's where the real fighting was. Give me...
What are you doing?
I'm getting cured.
Oh, Clay, please don't. You're in no condition. You're in no condition to go out there like that, Clay.
Well, you can't even wiggle a trigger finger. You couldn't...
Well, the muscle's just a little bit bruised.
Oh.
Bruised? It's in shreds.
Look at that. Go on, let's see you wiggle that trigger finger. Go on.
I'll wiggle it for Mr. Keel.
Clay.
Take real good care of your prisoners, Sheriff.
His lawyer showed up with a writ of habeas corpus. I had to release him.
Really? Got that writ mighty quick. The courthouse isn't even open yet.
Well, it isn't exactly a writ. It's an application for one.
You let him go without a judge's signature?
Time-saving device, you understand. In the interest of justice.
Sure.
Thought you had a bad arm.
Did you?
You just came from Doc Wells' office, didn't you? He fixed that arm up. Keel!
You want to see me about anything? Well, there's a funny thing. I could have sworn that you wanted me for something.
No, Hollister. I don't want to see you about anything.
Clay, look out! Clay, I was so scared.
Yeah, honey. So was I. We better go see if that doctor's busy. Could use a new bandage.
Yeah. Sheriff! Just a minute, I want to talk to you. You know, I'm bringing charges against you, Downey, for neglect of duty and for conspiracy and for aiding and abetting and for anything else I can think of. You have been an accessory to his crimes. You've been a helping Keel with both hands.
Boy, that father of yours. He must have been a real wildcat at Gettysburg. Or was it Shiloh?
Oh, deep down inside, I think he would prefer Tombstone. So would I.
Harris, welcome back.
Thanks.
Arm any better?
Oh, about the same.
Well, then why didn't you stay away longer? Don't you ever think of your health?
Yeah, that's why I'm back on the job. I will never take another vacation if it kills me, and this one almost did.
Well, I guess some people just never learn to relax.
me back where I wanna be. Whistle a tune that'll carry me to Tombstone territory. If your past has run afoul of the law, it's a handy place to be. 'Cause your future's just as good as your draw in Tombstone territory. Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be, to Tombstone territory.
88.
Come here, honey. I want to talk to you. Honey, John, old friend Milo, where you going? You tricked me that time, Chiquita, didn't you? Okay, Chiquita. Here I come.
All right, Wade. Game's over.
Well, you're kind of far out of your way, aren't you, Sheriff?
Just far enough to get you.
Well, my ma didn't raise no fool. I'm not going to give you no argument. Not now, anyway. Say, you mind my asking what this is all about?
Ask Jamie Wilson's widow.
But I'm asking you.
Well,
Hey, you're kind of jumpy there, Hollister. Now, you know that I always travel alone. I like it that way.
Well, that's good, because that's the way you'll hang.
An actual account from the pages of my newspaper, the Tombstone Epitaph. This is the way it happened, in the town too tough to die.
Tombstone Territory.
June 10, 1888. The shortest route back to Tombstone was skirting the Chiricahuas. Small bands of renegade Apaches were suspected of being holed up in the area.
Say, what do you say we have a little water? I'm dry as a horny toad. Thank you.
What are you looking for?
What's
so fascinating back there?
Well, now, you just know that this is Apache country, you know, and, well, if they was to jump us, I just wouldn't have no chance at all. What with my hands being ironed, you know, behind me like they are. Of course, it'd make it awful easy for you if that's what you want. Much obliged.
Late afternoon of June 10, 1888.
Get off. We'll bed down here.
About time.
Just get away from the horse.
You don't take any chances, do you?
Would you? What's the matter? You still looking for Apaches?
Oh, no, but a footloose blacksmith might come in handy. Hollister, You're a pretty good cook. One of these days you're going to make some gal a good wife.
See how good you are at cleaning the dishes.
Well, sure, Sheriff. Anything to oblige. Say, Clay, you know something been bothering me. How come you took me for killing Jamie?
Well, to start with, you're riding his horse.
That horse? Oh, no, I bought that horse. I got a bill of sale for him, everything. I lost it, though. But still, it doesn't seem to me like you got much to go on now, does it?
People never learn, Wade. You got a mean streak, can you?
Me?
Yeah. You might have gotten away with this if it hadn't been for that.
I don't get you.
Well, it wasn't enough for you just to take the man's horse. You had to shoot him, too. Leave him for dead. Well, he died, all right. But not before he crawled up on the road. He was still alive when he was found. And he named you, Wade. He named you Plain.
That don't prove nothing. You see, Jamie always hated me, ever since I shot his kid brother. Well, I did time for that and everything, but Jamie just couldn't let well enough alone.
You'll have an opportunity to tell that to the jury. But let me ask you something, Wade. You think they're going to believe you?
Oh, now, what's the use of talking, huh? Hey, is that stuff ready yet?
Milo! Stop it, you're gonna kill him!
Good boy, Seth. I knew I could count on you. Hey, just a minute. Let me get these things off. I'll be right with you. You know, I got no hard feelings for you, Clay. It's just that a man's got to look out for himself first, isn't that right? You know, I never did like this kind of gun. And the barrel's too long for fast work, you know. I guess it's all right for some things, though, huh?
Yeah, like murder.
Here you are, Milo. Got the horses ready to travel.
Good boy. Here, keep an eye on him. Ah, this is more like it. I felt kind of naked without it. Seth, you go on back to the horses. I'll be with you in a minute.
You getting ready to give it to me like you did Jamie? He lived a good 6 hours. You'd have enjoyed watching that.
Well, go on. What are you waiting for?
You ain't gonna shoot him, are you, Milo?
No. Now, what gave you an idea like that? No, I'm just going to make sure that he doesn't follow us right off.
Well, if we take his horse, leave him get back on him.
Hey, I know what I'm doing. Here, you take these cuffs, put them on him. Oh, Clay, would you mind putting your hands behind that tree?
They too tight?
They're all right. Go on, get down the horses. You know, come noon tomorrow, you're going to wish that I had put a bullet through you. That sun's going to cook you good. Come on, kid.
You got a mind like an Apache involving your brother in murder. Now, not even an Apache'd sink that low.
Milo ain't never killed nobody except in a fair fight. You lawmen just got it in for him. Can't leave a man alone.
6 years ago, he killed a boy about your age, Dave Wilson.
Milo told me about it. Wilson drawed on Milo first.
You done a good job on him, Milo. Maybe you will have hanging company after all.
You shut your rotten mouth. And nobody's got nothing on the kid. Nobody's going to hang. Come on, Seth.
Thanks, kid.
Well, come on, what's holding you? Pick up that gun belt.
desert wind greeted the morning of June 11.
Howdy.
Howdy.
Nothing but no prospector. Say, you mind if we step down?
Why, no. Glad to have a little talking company. You're right welcome to join me for breakfast.
Well, thank you. You loosen the cinches on the horses. I'll do the talking.
Folks keep telling me it ain't worth grubbing for this far south. Just wait till I get to that S there. I'll give them their comeuppance.
Well, you got to admit it is pretty far south for silver.
Didn't say nothing about silver, mister.
Ain't nothing else worth looking for in this part of the country.
All you young'uns are alike. Think you know everything. Well, you're right about one thing. There ain't no silver down here.
Well, you know, these hills been gone over hundreds of times. If there'd been anything here, it would have been found by now.
That so?
Sure, I mean, it's just common sense. You ask me, you're wasting your time. You ought to go up north. I understand that's where the big strikes are being brought in.
Know-it-alls. Think nobody knows nothing except themselves. Whistle a different tune now, though, we bet you bottom dollar. Call that wasting your time, mister?
I don't know. What is it?
What is it? It's gold. You darn fool. What's it look like?
Well, that's gold, huh? It don't look like much, does it? It don't hardly look worth bothering for. I mean, it looks just like so many rocks to me.
That ore ought to run 20,000 to a ton. Richest ore ever seen. Don't they teach you fellers nothing no more?
Well, I guess not, old-timer, because if I was to see a whole solid mountain of that stuff, I'd probably walk right past it.
June 11, 1888. Clay Hollister was fighting against time as the broiling sun climbed in the sky.
Thought it struck it rich lots of times, but something always seemed to go wrong. But not this time. Old Deed hit it for sure this time. Made sure wouldn't nothing go wrong.
That's good. Nothing like being careful, is there? Hey, Seth, listen, you better go get the horses ready. We got some miles to cover. You hear what I said?
The afternoon of June 11, 1888. Late that afternoon, Clay Hollister stumbled upon signs of life and death. The night of June 11.
Relax, kid. Now, come on. You better eat something or you're going to lose your strength.
Milo, I want to ask you something.
Sure, what is it?
How long you been lying to me about things?
Lying to you about what?
You know, like killing. The sheriff was telling the truth, wasn't he? You did kill that man for the horse, didn't you?
Well, I guess you got to learn sometime. Yeah, I killed him. I did, but he kept asking for it, Seth. You remember how old Jamie was. Every time I'd see him, he'd start in with that murdering talk of his. You know, you're a killer, Milo Wade. They ought to hung you. One of these days they're going to string you up, and that kind of talk till he was driving me loco, so I just shut him up. But I shut him up good. I say that, I did.
You didn't have to listen to it.
Look here, Seth. Now, you and me is brothers. See, we're blood kin. Us two is all we got in this world. Seth, you just don't know how rotten folks can be to people like us. I mean, you got nothing in your genes, so they treat you like dirt. Let me tell you something. I've had a plan for a long time now how I can beat them, Seth. You know what we're going to do? We're going to jump across the border into Mexico, and we'll buy us a place of our own, just the two of us, and we'll live a good life. No more running from people, no more wanting for things that just...
Maybe it'd just be better if you went without me, Milo.
Without you? But you're my brother. I mean, all my life I've been worrying about you, Seth. I've been thinking, how can I make things good for the boy? You say, go without you. Well, no, sir.
You call what you did doing things for me?
Well, this is a tough world, and a man has got to twist what he wants out of it. I mean, otherwise you get nothing. You got to take what you want, so.
Like you took from that old man back there?
That? Well, sure. But what is wrong with that? I mean, an old man like that, you know, he's got one foot in the grave anyway. What's he want with all that gold, huh? Besides, he was just a stranger. What did he ever do for you and me?
He fed us.
Oh, now you're beginning to tire me, boy. Now, you're going to do what I tell you. You understand? And you're going to Mexico with me if I got to whip some sense into you. Come on, let's get some sleep, huh?
Satisfied that his brother was asleep, Seth Wade made his decision.
Seth, where are you?
Seth! Come back here! Seth? What'd I do? Seth!
Early morning, June 12th. Seth Wade had regained consciousness. His brother's bullet had passed clear through his body.
Now, you just take it easy, Seth. Oh, Milo will take care of you.
Hurts. Stop it from hurting.
I didn't mean it, boy. You got to believe me. I wouldn't hurt you for the world. Here, let me have a look at it. But I couldn't let you go, Seth. You're all I got.
Oh, it hurts. Please, let me die.
No, you're not going to die. I'll get help, Seth. But you're not going to die. I promise you. Only those horses hadn't been spooked. I'll go for some help.
You hear that, Seth? Somebody heard my signal. You just hold on, boy. It's not going to be much longer. All right,
Hollister. That's far enough. Now drop that rifle. Get off of that barrel. Come on up here. I can talk to you. Come on. I don't know how you got loose, but right now I'm glad you did. Now that's far enough. Now listen to me. Seth got himself hurt. You know anything about doctoring? A little. Good. And hope for your sake you're not lying. He's over there. How'd it happen? What difference does it make? Just do something, will you? There's nothing I can do. He needs a doctor. Listen, don't lie to me. I swear I'll kill you where you stand. Look, I'd help the kid if I could. You know that. Well, will you help me get him on that burro? Then I'll take him. You'll kill him if you do that. Did you do it? Oh, it was kind of an accident. All right. There's a doctor in McNeil, 15 miles from here. There is? Well, maybe I could make it. If you do, the first man that sees you'll put a bullet in you. You've been posted in every town for 50 miles. Maybe so, but I got to take that chance. Real fond of him, aren't you? Well, that's a fool question, of course. Well, you got just one chance to save him. I'll ride for help, but there's a condition. What's that? Give me your gun and wait here till I get back. What are you, out of your mind? Clay. All right. Ride.
June 17, 1888. After 8 days on the desert, Clay Hollister had returned with his prisoner.
Well? Come on, talk to me. How is he? Well, is he going to live?
Yeah, but he'll never walk again. The bullet chipped his spine.
It did?
Milo Wade began to realize that a slug from his gun had paralyzed his brother for life.
It was all his fault. I didn't mean to shoot him. Why, everything I ever did was for that boy. Everything. Does he appreciate it? No. He looks at me like I was some kind of dirt, and then while I'm trying to sleep, he goes sneaking off. That's what he does. Well, good for him. Maybe now he'll learn to appreciate what I was trying to do.
What did you do for him?
What was I trying to do? I'll tell you what I was going to do. I was going to peddle the old man's claim, and then we was going to go down to Mexico and buy us a little place of our own, just the two of us. Now somebody else going to be enjoying all that gold.
There wasn't any gold, Milo.
What are you saying?
Old Dietz' ore was just iron pyrite, like all the other claims he made.
No, Hollister, I saw that gold with my own eye. It was bright yellow gold it was.
Dietz was an old man. Sometimes they get a little childish, live in their dreams. Well, Dietz was like that. Yeah. Always dreaming, always making the biggest strikes. They were always iron pyrite.
Yeah, but, I mean, it was yellow. I mean, iron isn't yellow.
Iron pyrite is. That's why they call it fool's gold.
Fool's gold? Fool's gold? But, well, ain't that something? All of that for nothing? For fool's gold? Well, that's some joke on me, isn't it, Hollister? Fool's gold.
Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be, whistle a tune that'll carry me to Tombstone territory. If your past has run afoul of the law, it's a handy place to be, 'cause your future's just as good as your draw in Tombstone territory. Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be, whistle a tune that'll carry me to Tombstone territory.
In town. I just saw him. So? The talk is he's back in town to kill you, since you were the one who sent him up.
Well, never expected to catch the two of you together. Must be my lucky day.
Oh, Jake, I understand you're going to call me out.
Don't listen to gossip, Hollister. I'm not here to kill anybody.
Oh? Prison changed you, huh?
Yeah. Clybourne, I want to run an ad in the paper. One of those one-liners. Expert wheelwright wants job.
You? A wheelwright?
I learned it at Yuma. You gonna run the ad or not?
Sure, I'll run it. I'm all for any man who wants to go straight.
And Hollister, if any joker wants to blame me for something again, you know better, see?
An actual account from the pages of my newspaper, the Tombstone Epitaph. This is the way it happened, in the town too tough to die. Tombstone territory. The morning of May 31, 1885, got off to a fast start. A man had been shot and killed on his way to work.
Find anything? Yeah, just that Bert was on his way to work. Killer waited for him to get by and then shot him. Must have stood over there.
How do you know?
Well, the ground's all mussed up, like he got fidgety waiting.
Well, here's a slug Doc Cunningham took out of his back. Not much to go on.
Great. Can't be more than a couple of 38-40s in town.
Old Bert Henry. Who'd want to kill him?
Maybe Harry Dunbar can give us something to go on.
Looks like some folks are in for a spell of waiting for that baby. Also looks like I came to the right place at the right time.
Haven't I seen you before?
Maybe, maybe not. The point is, I'm a wheelwright. You need one bad.
Oh, no, I don't. I've got the best man in town, Bert Henry.
Well, Bert's not working here anymore. Somebody gunned him down.
Bert?
It was in Hollister's office when he was shot. Word is spreading all over town. That's why I thought...
Oh, Harry. You didn't waste any time getting here, I see.
Somebody's got to take the fellow's job. Might as well be me.
Got any idea who shot him down, Clay?
No, not yet. All I know is he was ambushed on his way here. He died in Doc Cunningham's office.
Why would anybody want to kill Bert? He didn't have much money. I remember you now. You're Jake Conroy. You're a gunslinger. Well, I don't want any thugs around my place. Shove off, Conroy.
Now, Mr. Dunbar, I wouldn't take that tone. You're in a jam. You need me. Hollister, tell him I'm in the clear.
That's right, Harry. He was in my office when it happened. He couldn't have done it. He was telling me that he spent his time up at Yuma learning to be a wheelwright.
I don't think that I could ever trust an ex-con.
Mr. Dunbar, have you ever been in prison?
Of course not.
Then you don't know what it takes for a man to buckle down and learn a trade late in life. to tell himself he's going to go honest and above board.
All right, Conroy, I'll give you a break, but I warn you, the first false move and you're finished.
It's a deal, Mr. Dunbar. And in a week, you'll be begging me to stay. Let's see here.
Dunbar handles a lot of important business. Stage line, couple 3 mining outfits. Now Jake Conroy's working for him.
Oh, what's that got to do with anything? Don't you believe his story about going straight?
I don't know. Wheelwright is murdered. Jake's a wheelwright. So he steps into the dead man's job.
Well, you know, Jake couldn't have done the killing.
Yeah?
I think we have to give him a chance.
Kind of like recommending Billy the Kid for president of the First National Bank.
Ah.
I'll feel better if I check on him.
Don't seem more up to me. Looks like a fair to middling job.
What do you want?
George West been in? The West Consolidated Mining Company?
What about him?
When he comes to town, he leaves his buggy here. Saw him on Allen Street.
Know a thing about it.
Well, you work here. You know the customers.
I'm not in the habit of giving information to strangers. Now get out of here. Come on.
What's the trouble?
Get out.
What was it, Jake?
Just a bum asking questions. And like his looks, gunslinger type. Look, told you I'd have her finished by quitting time. Give me a shot.
Hello, Mr. West.
How do you do? Bartender, I'll have another drink at the table.
Mr. West. Not till I had my say.
All right, what is it?
Remember me? Holby Jones. I used to be a miner. Before you accused me of stealing silver or before you had me sent to the pen for something I didn't do.
Well, this is preposterous.
You're gonna pay for what you did to me,
All
Mr.
right,
West.
head for the street.
I ain't packing a gun. You are.
I can fix that. Now, are you going to go out in the street? I ought to break you in two. But I'm a peaceable man. I'm giving you one last chance to go out in the street.
You ought to break me in two. But you're yellow.
Somebody better go to the sheriff.
Yeah. Let Hollister pick up the pieces.
All right, Jake, you're under arrest.
What for? I didn't do anything. He started it. I had to protect himself.
Don't give me that. Let's go.
Just a moment, Sheriff. He's right. That man mistook me for somebody else. He accosted me. This man stepped in on my behalf.
Thanks, Mr. West. Thanks. I got in trouble a few years ago. You know how lawmen are. Once they get you pegged, they hate to see you come unpegged.
Mr. West, you want to prefer an assault charge against this man?
No. Just lock him up and let him sleep it off for the night.
Real high and mighty, ain't you, Mr. West?
Let's go.
Good man, Hollister.
The best.
Guess I'd be suspicious of everybody, too, if I had his job.
I'm grateful to you, Conroy. If ever you need work, come around and see me.
Thanks. But I'm working for Harry Dunbar right now. I'm a wheelwright.
Wheelwright?
I noticed that buggy of yours. Anytime you want it fixed, bring it around. I'll treat it right. Be seeing you, Mr. West.
Oh, Conroy, your gun.
No, thank you. Don't know why I wear it. I guess we've got to protect ourselves in Tombstone. We found that out.
We did find it out.
Thank you. I'd sure like to get my hands on whoever did that. You better report it to Hollister.
I intend to. First, I have to be sure if you can repair it.
I'll make it like new. It'll take a while.
Now, how long?
Well, the rest of the day if I rush.
I have a payroll I have to get out to the mine.
And Dunbar can lend you a rig for that. And then when yours is fixed, I can return it and pick up the other buggy.
Fine. Fine. That's real service.
My pleasure. Now let me handle this and you go get Hollister. Maybe he can nail that vandal.
Right.
Hello, Jake. Oh, Hollister. Anything you can tell me about Mr. West's buggy? Yeah? Two spokes busted, done with something heavy, I'd say, like a sledge. Straight grain dash. Nothing but the best for this job. You know who did it, of course. No, you tell me. Hobie Jones. Maybe. Oh, no maybe about it. Takes a bad man to break up something as beautiful as that buggy. And you learn about a man when you fight him. He's a bad one. Much like a twin sister, huh? I don't know. What do you mean you don't know? You ever see a better matching job? I wasn't talking about the spokes. I was thinking about something else. Something else? Yeah. I'll see you later.
Save the leather, hop in.
It's about time. You come by way of Tucson?
Not there, on the floor.
Nobody's gonna see me way out here.
We're not taking any chances. I've got the sheriff looking for you, remember?
You have to do that. You have to tell him I was the one who busted West's buggy.
Lie down. All the way.
Yeah.
Boy, this is sure a sweet running chariot.
Just another buggy.
You ought to be glad everything's running so smooth.
It ain't a bit smooth down here.
Oh, just think of Mexico. Wine, women, and money. We'll be living like a couple of caballeros.
I still got lumps from that fight. I've had the dirty end of this job all the way.
That's because you're not educated. You should take up a trade like me.
Oh, it's the report from Yuma on Jake Conroy. What do you know? Jake was a trustee. Exemplary conduct, learned a trade.
At least he gave us a straight story.
Released May 1st, along with an inmate by the name of Red River Tom. Left Yuma together, heading east. Uh-oh, listen to this. 5'11", slim, dark-haired, 32, speaks with a slight southern accent. Remind you of anybody? That story I gave you for the epitaph. Conroy's fight in the Crystal Palace with a stranger.
Hobie Jones.
Or Red River Tom, according to Yuma. These days, thugs change their name like you change your shirt.
Well, then if Conroy knew Jones, that fight in the saloon had to be staged.
Uh-huh. But you gotta go back one step further. Hobie killed Bert Henry so that Jake could get into a key job. Then the fight set Jake up with West. So naturally, when West's buggy was vandalized, he'd go to Jake. Let's get to Dunbar's.
Harry, where's Jake?
Oh, he's out, delivering the buggy to Mr. West.
At the mine, I suppose?
That's right. He'll be back soon.
No, Harry. Not unless we drag him back.
Hello, Mr. West. Brought your buggy back.
Fine. Fine. Finished early, didn't you?
Had to. Got traveling to do.
I begin to see it now.
Just do as you're told and nobody will get killed. Put the payroll in the sacks. We're going to take charge of it for you.
That wasn't necessary.
Yes, it was. Truss him up, Hobie. Make it fast. You've got to move. We'll take the good buggy. We're rich now. We're not going to ride in a livery stable rig.
How about the guard at the gate?
The boss will be driving. Hobie will be on the floor. I'll be beside you. Any false moves, and you get 2 slugs, one in the back and one in the belly. Well, let's go.
You can pull up right here. Someday they're going to catch up with you. If I have my say, you'll hang. Pull up, I said. Oh! Up! Now go on, get down. So you can put a bullet in my back. What's the murder charge against you? Get down. Now start hoofing it. Only take you a few hours. Yeah. We better trade this trap for a pair of fast horses. Get rid of this fine buggy? Not a chance. Running out of road.
Look, I know what I'm doing. Once I drove a herd down this trail, clear to Mexico. When the guard gets to town, Hollister will be aboard the fastest horse he can find. Look, who planned this? You did? Everything's gone fine so far, huh? Yeah. All right, then.
Hollister! Hollister! Hollister!
Make better time on foot. Get out and walk then. Hollister will be gaining on us. Look, we got a long lead. Hollister can't sprout wings. Now, this is more like it.
That's the one you were supposed to fix.
I told you to knock out a couple of spokes, not weaken the whole wheel.
No matter what I done, it's up to you to fix it.
It's up to you to fix Bird Henry, not to kill him.
Right, all right. We're just jabbing at each other. We gotta get out of here.
When you were harping about riding horses, now's your chance.
Carriage snags and no saddles?
Shut up and help me unhitch.
Get down!
Guard him, Harris. I never buck odds when they get too big, Hollister. He's dead. Too bad. 3 men could do a lot with 50,000. How about splitting it 3 ways?
You never make it come out even that way, Jake. Harris, get his gun.
Oh, I'm glad you're a good shot. That was close.
Close for Jake. If I'd had more of a target, we'd have had another dead wheelwright.
Hold it here. That judge hauled off and threw the book at me.
You got off easy. You deserve the rope.
Yeah? I'd be in Mexico right now buying and selling judges like him if it hadn't been for that buggy wheel.
Cheer up, Jake. Takes time to make a master wheelwright. You'll have that time up in Yuma. The rest of your life.
Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be, whistle a tune that'll carry me to Tombstone territory. If your past has run afoul of the law, it's a handy place to be. 'Cause your future's just as good as your draw in Tombstone territory. Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be, to Tombstone territory.
There you go, Jimmy.
You figure this is the way to make the trip to Larrabee without us along?
Well, I'm not carrying gold, Wayne. Just a court paper.
Worth more than gold to the man who doesn't want to hang. Clay, be careful.
Well, if I run across him, I will be. And while I'm gone, don't you get any holes in your star either.
Here, man. As your father, I got my rights.
Stepfather. Maybe I could put up with you as long as Mother was alive, but I don't have...
If you think you're going to run off like this...
Watch me.
You traveling, Miss Worth?
As far as I can get from him and all I've known here.
I didn't expect this kind of interference from the law.
She's old enough to make her own decisions. Besides, those who know you won't think she's wrong.
All right, Smokey, line them up.
A sheriff often welcomes the chance to get out of town and away from trouble, even if he thinks he could be riding right into it. An actual account from the pages of my newspaper, the Tombstone Epitaph. This is the way it happened, in the town too tough to die. Tombstone territory. From Tombstone, it was a grinding 2 days' ride to Larrabee, if the coach got through.
Would you say this is a dangerous run to Larrabee, Sheriff?
I never like to make predictions, but the stage is just full of bullet holes, Mr.
Willis, isn't it? You don't seem very concerned.
Well, we're safe enough as far as Dry Creek Station, the other side.
So I heard. I was hoping that was only a rumor.
Not entirely. We pick up a couple of guards at Dry Creek, though. Oh, Miss Worth, if you'd like to take a nap, I'm sure Mr. Clark wouldn't mind moving over.
Forget about me. Leave me be.
You're in a fine mood.
Look, when I want your opinion...
A few weeks in one of those dance halls and you won't recognize yourself. I can see that's what you want. You make up your mind mighty fast, Mr. Clark. Maybe too fast?
I'd like to agree with the sheriff. The importance of parental guidance.
Look, will everybody please talk about something else?
Should have left her back in Tombstone. That old man of hers is probably right.
What are you, a gunfighter or just learning how?
I've learned well enough to...
Why don't you leave the lady alone, Clark? We got a long way to go.
I agree with the sheriff. Let's be pleasant with one another. It's a long 2-day ride in this coach, and safe all the way, I hope.
As miles roll by, a coach filled with 4 people seems to grow smaller as tempers grow shorter.
All right, Clark.
Well, what was that all about?
I warned you about him, Sheriff.
I just wanted to see how it was with the great Clay Hollister of Tombstone. I don't figure it'd be such a tough job after all.
Clark, what's got into you?
It's like sitting down next to a rattlesnake.
Oh, it's not that bad, Miss Worth. He's just a boy with a lot of curiosity.
Boy!
He'll learn that guns aren't to be played with.
Look, if you think I don't know how...
If he lives that long.
I don't like the look of this country.
Wait till he gets on the other side of Dry Creek.
Well, we're on schedule anyway. There's Silver Gulch.
Sounds like money. Somebody strike it rich at Silver Gulch.
You've got to have a sort of special sense of humor for a lot of things around here. A party of people ran into some Indians years back. Their bones turned sort of silver. Got that name.
Well, what do we got to worry about? We got the great Clay Hollister with us, guns and all. Why, just one look at him and a real bad man at hightail for the hills. Hey, Sheriff?
I hope not. Don't like running after people to bring him back. Takes a lot of time, saddle leather.
Sheriff, I'm a trifle curious about this trip you're making to Larrabee. Not that I know anything about law enforcement, really, but... Well, I did happen to overhear something said to you back in Tombstone. About a court paper you're carrying. Something about a murder case.
Well, I see no reason to be mysterious about it, since we're all so friendly like this. A man by the name of Rowan's under indictment for killing in Larrabee. He's out on bond. I'm carrying a key ruling from the circuit judge. Matter of life and death. Not mine, I'm pleased to say.
It's very interesting. This Rowan a man you know?
No.
You ever seen him?
No, not even that. I can't recall meeting you, Mr. Clark, in Tombstone.
Just passing through. Not my kind of territory there. But Larrabee might be just the place for folks like me and Miss Worth here.
On an overland trip, passengers get to know each other real well, whether they want to or not.
Well, a girl like you run away from home and all shouldn't be crying.
Whatever gave you that idea?
So you're not crying. You sure don't seem to be very happy about getting out of Tombstone.
I think you're so darn smart.
Well, if there's anything I said...
You think you could bother me, somebody like you?
I guess not. Anyhow, I just want you to know what I said. Well, I'm sorry.
Mr. Clark, if I were you, I wouldn't annoy Miss Worth.
What are you talking about?
It's obvious she doesn't care to talk to you.
Stow it. Stow it.
Oh, I don't think he meant...
Another little family quarrel? When I thought we were settling down.
Mr. Clark had impressed me in his own way, of course, of being a really tough sort of man. Now I see he has a gentler side.
Ah, stow it. I was just fooling around a little to pass the time. Well, what are you staring at, lawman? I might as well tell you I don't think I can stay cooped up in here with that high-toned big man look of yours all the way to Larrabee.
Now, Mr. Clark, I didn't mean to start all this.
What happened? Why should anything be happening here?
I don't know. Might be a roadblock up there. Take it easy with that gun till we find out.
Yes, if we just keep calm.
Rock slide, Sheriff. Nearly spilled all of us.
You might as well stay inside, Miss Worth. There's not much you can do out here.
I think we can get through now.
All right, Smokey.
Driver, I'd like to wash my hands.
I think we can spare a little water.
May I help you, Miss Worth?
Thank you.
The exercise feels good.
Not my kind.
Not bad.
What do you mean, not bad?
Well, if that stump had been a man who knew his business, you'd have had a bullet in you just about the time you made your first move.
That wasn't my best.
No. Now, you're working under a handicap. I don't figure you've killed your first man or done anything really wrong yet.
Maybe. When I get me a real big man.
Come on, Sheriff, we've lost enough time.
The night of July 8, 1885.
This is the ladies.
That's mine.
All right.
Drink of your finest whiskey.
Those are two men that are going to ride our guard?
Never seen that pair before. That two men better be here by morning, Sheriff Hollister.
Yeah.
Hollister? Not Sheriff Clay Hollister, the big man from Tombstone.
Hey, couldn't be. Way out here, so far from his protection.
Those two horses out in front, are they yours?
You asking questions, law boy? I don't see any warrant. Do you?
No deputies either.
The sheriff's acting pretty bold, I'd say.
You worked them mighty hard today. They haven't been watered yet.
Is that right? Did you hear what the sheriff says?
My.
Well, I'll tell you, Sheriff, there ain't much help on the station here. Only the agent there. And he's taking care of us, so, suppose you take 4 bits and do the job yourself.
Can we share a room, Sheriff, if it's all right with you?
Sure.
I'd say they'd make a nice pair, wouldn't you?
Just lovely.
You see any answers up there?
Am I looking for some?
Maybe. You still think you did the right thing in running away from home?
I had no choice. I had to leave.
I left home when I was 13. It's a funny thing about running. Once you start, it's hard to stop.
Do you want to?
To stop?
Yes.
I don't know.
Dinner's ready. If you're hungry.
May I?
Here, I'll help you. And, then we all better turn in. We'll be making an early start in the morning.
All right. I thought I might go out and, get some air.
Well, don't wander. You still haven't watered your horses.
Horses? I thought you were going to take care of that, Sheriff. Oh, take care of these while you're at it, will you? Nice and neat.
The sheriff's a fine little housewife, I'd say.
Sorry about those plates. Put them on my bill. Take care of these. And have them gone by sunup. Well, I'll go water their horses.
You fools.
The morning of July 9, 1885. A day's ride from Tombstone. A day's ride to Larrabee lay ahead.
Guards didn't get here. Bushwhacked, you figure?
Maybe. Can't wait now. Too bad. We might need them guards.
Think so?
I got a bad feeling this morning. We've had some mean holdups on this run. No witnesses. Anybody rather I'd get to Larrabee with a dead sheriff instead of a live one?
Could be.
You want to lay over here?
Mr. Clark. Allow me to remind you of a couple of things before we head on for Larrabee.
Hurry up, folks. We haven't got all day.
All right, go ahead. You say we're reaching the bad stretch now, Sheriff?
Just about.
So it's just something that we could do.
There is.
What's that?
Relax. Hope for the best.
Jim, I don't understand.
Don't understand what?
The way you were with me last night, I thought...
That was last night.
You can change this way?
Anne, I get it. I get it.
Is that all you can say?
That's all I can say.
The dusty afternoon wore on. A rambling stage, edgy nerves, 3 hours from Larrabee.
Oh, boy.
What's this?
You're kind of far from Larrabee.
Too far, maybe.
What's that supposed to mean?
I don't like the look of things.
Well, you must have been over this run 100 times.
But not with the feeling I got today. And no guards.
What is this, superstition?
Not altogether. Just seen some riders making the Rock Canyon cutoff. Maybe all right. Maybe.
So, other men travel this country?
You sure surprised me, Mr. Willis.
Why so?
Calmer all the time.
Look, Mr. Willis, maybe we better...
You, the gunfighter?
It's up to you, folks. We can turn back now or see what happens if we barrel on through.
Well, my business in Larrabee won't wait. I'm meeting these mining people.
Miss Worth?
It can't make any difference to me now.
You, Mr. Clark?
Run out the string. Don't matter to me.
Well, there's your vote. Larrabee. Miles and tell the story.
Well, it doesn't have to happen. I mean, there's nothing inevitable.
Man gets a feeling.
Being a law officer?
You got it too, Mr. Willis. Stronger than I have for some reason. I'll have to ask if you're armed. How about you?
Well, I've got this little derringer, although I'm not sure what I could do with it in an emergency.
You may find out.
Keep those hands high.
Stay here. No matter what happens, stay right here.
Drop those guns.
You didn't take any chances on this job, did you?
Shut up, law boy. Tell your lady friend to get out.
She's just a girl. She don't matter.
Who says she don't?
He's right. You don't have to bother her.
Oh, this is going to be easier than I thought. Oh, let's keep it nice and clean. We don't want to leave anybody behind that's going to give us any trouble. That means you first of all, law boy. So step out here. Come on. A little further.
I got you two covered. Hold everything right there.
You had to kill him, huh, Willis?
Yes, Sheriff, I did. You see, my name isn't Willis. I haven't really introduced myself. I'm Rowan. A man they'd hang if you got that court paper to Larrabee.
That derringer suddenly grew.
Well, like I said, in an emergency. But I've got one more surprise for you. All right, Clark. Just like I promised. you get your first real big man.
He ain't armed.
Who's ever gonna know what happens here?
Rowan, you might not be quite as big, but I'd rather start with you.
Stay just like you are, boy. Not quite sure of yourself. Stay away from killing your first man. You'll turn out just fine. Matter of fact, why don't you two just kind of stay together? That'd make it easier for both of you.
Last trip to Larrabee and he knew it. Get around back.
Clark, get some luggage rope and tie up our friend from the Dry Creek station.
Yes, sir.
Oh, and by the way,
May not be much of a killer, but can you drive a stage? I still got to get to Larrabee.
Yes, sir.
Got a surprise for you, Rowan. The decision of the circuit judge. Evidence against Rowan not sufficient for indictment. Now, of course, you've written your own death warrant.
Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be, whistle a tune that'll carry me to Tombstone territory. If your past has run afoul of the law, it's a handy place to be, 'cause your future's just as good as your draw in Tombstone territory. Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be, to Tombstone territory.
An actual account from the pages of my newspaper, the Tombstone Epitaph. This is the way it happened, in the town too tough to die. Tombstone territory. November 29, 1883. Whenever Doc Cunningham broke into a run, it was certain to be a matter of life or death.
Clay, Tom Belden's been shot.
Where is he? How bad's he hurt?
Cottonwood Canyon Trail. Well, he's in bad shape. The payroll money for the ranch is gone, too.
That figures. Why didn't you bring him in?
He's hurt too bad. He must have laid there all night. Miss Belden told me to go out looking for him.
All right. Quet, you keep an eye on things around here.
All right, Clay.
Doc, you and Riker get a buckboard. We'll need it to bring Tom in.
You don't mind if the epitaph rides along?
Not if it rides fast.
The morning of November 29, 1883. Tom Belden's assailant had done his work well.
He's dead. You said he was conscious briefly when you found him. Did he say anything?
He could hardly talk. All he said was, masked man rode a sorrel horse.
How much would the ranch payroll amount to?
I guess it tallied out to around $1,500.
Let's get him on the wagon.
Hey, Doc. Got any plaster Paris in the bag?
Why, yeah, I guess so. I got a pound or so.
Thanks.
What are you going to do with that? The man that shot Belden was riding a lame horse. Take a look at that hoof print.
Wasn't made by Belden's horse. You notice anything odd about it?
Yeah, one hole seems to have a nail missing.
That's right. Left front hoof. The horse was favoring it. Print isn't as deep as the others.
I still don't see what that's got to do with plaster of Paris.
I'll show you. You're about to witness the latest wrinkle in detection as practiced by the French Sûreté.
The what?
I read about it in Leslie's Monthly. It's called moulage, making plaster casts out of footprints and other things.
How much longer do you think it'll be?
Should be ready pretty quick now.
Say, Clay, do you think that Belden could have been killed by his foreman?
Ben Riker?
He's got a bad record, you know.
I know.
The business of him coming in for the dock and guiding us back here.
I'll talk to him. Perfect. Look at that. Every detail sharp and clear. You can even see that little triangular gouge in the frog of the hoof. Yeah. Come on, let's get back to town.
I want you to know, Sheriff, I don't hold no hard feelings. On account of you might have figured that I bushwhacked the boss. What with my background.
I have to check all the angles, Riker.
I know that. And I reckon it looked as though I could have done it. I liked my boss. I'd give my right arm from here on out to see the snake that killed him dangling at the end of a rope.
Maybe you will.
Well, if you want me, you know where to find me.
Don't worry. If I want you, I'll find you. Gentry.
Hello, Sheriff.
Obliged if you take a look at this for me.
Sure, what is it?
Plaster cast of a hoof print.
Well, so it is.
You ever seen that shoe before?
Would it matter if I have or haven't?
Might make the difference in whether or not I catch the man that killed Tom Belden.
Tom Belden of the Box B?
That's right. Mean anything to you?
Being a law-abiding citizen, Sheriff, I want to tell the truth. But if I do, I'm as good as accusing a man of murder.
Then you do recognize it.
I put that shoe on Asa Sibley's horse just a couple of days ago.
Are you sure it's the same one?
You see that missing nail?
Huh?
I left it out of purpose. Sibley's horse had a corn in his hoof. That nail would have gone right into it. I left it out to give the corn a chance to heal.
Well, couldn't it be some other shoe that just happened to be missing a nail?
Ain't a blacksmith around worth his salt that can't tell every shoe he ever made. By the shapings of it, even the hammer markings. That's my shoe, and I put it on Ace of Sibley's horse. Thanks. Welcome.
That's a real nice chestnut. You figure the owner might want to sell?
No, I don't figure so. I'm the owner.
I can't say as I blame you.
I can do without visitors.
You always greet him with a rifle, Sibley?
All the friends I ever had stole me blind sooner or later.
I'm not in what you could call a friendly mood. I'm Clay Hollister, sheriff of Tombstone. I'm here on business.
What business?
Tom Belden was killed yesterday afternoon. Hoof prints at the scene of the shooting could have been made by your horse.
Well, that's a lie. I ain't been out of this place in 2 days.
Can you prove it?
No. I live by myself.
2 days, huh? Is that when you took your horse in to be shod?
Well, what if it was?
Gantry shod your horse with the shoe that made the incriminating print.
He said that? Then he's a liar. And you're a liar. You're out to get me, the lot of you. Sheriff?
Put down the gun, Sibley.
Now you get back on that horse and get out of here. I ain't done nothing. Now you get.
You're calling it.
I don't like it. But if you have to have it the hard way, I'll oblige. You let go? You let go of me! Hey! What? You have no right. I'll get even with you, sir. Huh? Suppose it makes no difference to you that you got the wrong man.
Maybe the wrong man, but it looks like you own the right horse. Sheriff. What'd you have to do, kill him?
No, it turned out he was the wrong man.
Wrong man. But that plaster cast showed a nail missing from the shoe. Yeah? We made a mistake. Sibley's horse does have a nail missing from one shoe, but the shoe itself doesn't match the cast. Thanks for your help anyway.
Yeah.
You wanted to see me, Gantry?
Likely to be the other way around if you hear what I've got to say.
About what?
About who killed Belden.
What do you mean?
I mean, I know who killed Belden. So does Hollister, only he's not doing anything about it.
How do you know all about this?
Hollister was here with a plaster cast of the hoof print of the horse the murderer was riding. I know who owned that horse. I told Hollister, and he went out to see the man. He came back alone, though.
Who was it?
The horse belonged to Asa Sibley.
I'm going to go out there and kill him myself.
No, Riker. That's not the way. You'll just wind up on the end of a rope. Now, Belden had a lot of friends, and they'll feel like we do once we tell them about it.
Gantry and Ben Riker are spreading lynch talk against Sibley all over town.
Yeah, I know it.
Well, what's worse, they're getting plenty of listeners. I don't like it.
I don't either, so I'm going to do something about it. I'm going to put Sibley under protective custody. I'll feel better with him in a cell instead of out on that sage patch of his.
He's a funny old duck. What if he won't cooperate?
He will. I think he's had his belly full of not cooperating.
The afternoon of November 29, 1883. Asa Sibley had no mind or stomach for one of Tombstone's jail cells. But whether by recollection of the sheriff's fists or by the persuasiveness of his arguments, the sodbuster finally gave in.
Looks like I win again. You want to play for a penny a point?
Oh, thank you. Can't have the deputy making more money than the sheriff. Hey, were you ever a dealer? A crooked one, maybe?
They tell me you got that murdering Sibley in jail here.
Yeah, Sibley's here.
Well, then you change your mind? You're going to make him pay for killing the boss?
No, Riker, Sibley didn't do it. He's innocent. But you and Gantry have been spreading lynch talk. And I'm taking no chances on mob action.
Well, you got a lot of gall to stand there and tell me you're protecting him.
That's exactly what I'm doing.
Well, what about Tom Belden?
You just take it easy, boy.
Take it easy? Hollister, you know what Tom Belden did for me? You know what I was when he took me on as a hand?
Yeah, Tom was a good judge of horses, cattle, and men. He made no mistake on you, Ben. Don't you make a mistake now.
Well, I ain't gonna wait for no lynch mob.
I'll just keep this for you until you cool down. Quint, see that he stays out of trouble.
On the surface, Tombstone was calm, but in the saloons and gambling halls, there was ferment. Gantry and Riker had done their job well. The situation was explosive, and all it needed now was a spark to set it off.
Harris.
Oh, morning, Clay.
I want you to do something for me.
What is it?
I want you to go down to Gantry's blacksmith shop and get him up here to the printing plant on some pretext. And keep him here as long as you can.
Gantry, what for?
Because he was wrong about that hoof print belonging to Sibley's horse. He was wrong or he lied. There's only one logical reason for him to lie. To cover himself. Besides, there's something else. Gantry owns a chestnut horse. To a dying man, that could look the same color as sorrel. Well, how about it? Will you do it for me?
When?
Right now. You give me about, 5 minutes head start, and go into your act. Tell Gantry that, well, tell him that the press broke down. You need him to repair it.
All right. But you just remember, that Gantry is about twice as big as I am. That makes me a prime candidate for Doc Cunningham. Or for Jake Riddle, the Undertaker.
Well, Harris, I have complete confidence in you.
Well, I wish I could say the same.
Owen, if there's any trouble, you stay out of it.
Afternoon.
Howdy.
Gantry, I've got myself in something of a fix. I wonder if you could help me out.
Well, none of us right now, I can't.
Oh, listen, man, I got a copy of the newspaper to get out today. And the bed of that press won't seem to move one way or another. One of the rollers is either jammed or cracked.
Well, I'd like to help you, but I got to get this wheel out.
Well, it won't take you but a minute, Gantry. To look at it, if it looks like too big a job, you can just forget about it.
Well, I guess I can spare a minute.
Well, I'm sure much obliged to you. I don't like to miss an edition if I don't have to.
Nothing wrong with that press. Gears, bed bearers, nothing. Say, you haven't been stalling me, just trying to keep me here, have you?
Of course not. Why would I do a thing like that?
I don't know, but if it turns out you have, I'll come back to take things apart, not to fix them. Looking for something, Hollister?
I'm looking for something.
What?
Money you stole from Belden after you killed him.
What are you talking about? You know Asa Sibley killed Belden.
No, Gantry. When Sibley brought a lame horse into you, and you left a nail out of its shoe, you saw a golden opportunity to pull a job that you'd been thinking about for a long time.
Oh, I'll talk. I ain't gonna listen to it.
Tom Belden paid his hands off like clockwork. He came to the bank a certain day of every month, certain hour of the day. Your job on Sibley's horse coincided. So you fixed up a shoe on your own horse, missing a nail, and went out to waylay Belden. He was right on time, as usual.
You said the murderer's horse was lame. My horse ain't lame.
No, not now. You were smarter there than I gave you credit for, Gantry. How'd you fake it? With a wedge pressing into the frog or a piece of wire around the ankle?
You can't prove a thing.
Yes, I can. The moulage I made doesn't match the shoe on your horse now because you got panicky and put on a new one. But the cast does show a little triangular gouge your horse has in the frog of his hoof. And I found that horseshoe, the one you tried to destroy.
Drop your gun bell, lawman.
That the gun that killed Tom Belden? You better think twice about this, Gantry. Gunshot in here will bring a crowd running. How do you explain it?
I'm going to shoot you in the back, Hollister. Then I can say it was a mistake. I saw you in here and thought you were a thief. Now turn around.
He had Belden's money on him all the time. Where were you, Harris? Could have used a little help. I try to keep those jail cells clean and ship-shape, but they're no substitute for home, huh, Sibley?
Well, thanks for all you've done for me, Sheriff.
Sibley, I came pretty close to making a jackass out of myself, or worse.
Well, whatever you done it for Belden.
No, listen, a man lives lonely and solitary like you do. Well, it ain't right for a man to live that way, and, well, there's other places he could be useful.
Are you offering me a job, Riker?
Well, now, don't go thinking it's charity, because it ain't.
Well, I'll think about it.
You do that.
Well, if anyone needs proof that the age of miracles isn't past, there it is.
Yeah, they are kind of an unlikely pair. This goes to show you never can tell. Say, Harris, how about a game of cribbage?
Sheriff, now you are in trouble.
Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be, whistle a tune that'll carry me to Tombstone territory. If your past has run afoul of the law, it's a handy place to be, 'cause your future's just as good as your draw in Tombstone territory. Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be, to Tombstone territory.
Get back inside!
An actual account from the pages of my newspaper, the Tombstone Epitaph. This is the way it happened, in the town too tough to die. Tombstone territory. Sunday, May 20, 1882. The Tombstone Bank had been robbed in the dark hour before dawn, and an innocent bystander had been killed by the fleeing gunman.
Todd, stay here. Sam and I are riding down into Jensen's. Cover us.
riders up on the hill, and 2 of them have started down.
Yeah?
Maybe you better get your gun.
You expecting trouble?
Are you? The man in the lead is riding a sorrel like Ben rides.
Inside, honey.
No.
I said inside.
And I said no.
But do you trust me?
Yes, I trust you, Dan, but I'm going to stay.
Somebody up the hill told us this was the Jensen farm. I guess you must be Dan Jensen. And you, lady, you must be Hope Jensen.
You want something?
Sort of. But it's business. Or when men talk, most ladies leave the room. All right, tell her, Danny. Tell her you asked us here. The sooner she leaves us alone, the sooner we go.
Go ahead, honey. Go on. Go ahead. Just shut your mouth. What do you want?
Give him the bag.
Why?
I'm appointing you my banker, Danny. Go on, take it, boy. It'll make you the richest banker in the territory.
I said why.
Because I told you to. Because that girl in there deserves a chance to spend the rest of her life with you. And she'll do anything you say, Danny. You just take that money here and put it away for your friends, and there won't be any trouble. If you don't, there's nothing but trouble.
Why me, Ben? You could...
No more arguments. I said give him the bag.
When will you be back?
When I think it's time.
You swear no trouble if I do it.
That's what I said. Come on.
Oh, I was just leaving you a note.
What about?
About the bank? Any news?
Yeah, it was robbed.
Well, thanks for the exclusive. But everybody in town already knows that.
Does everybody in town know who did it?
No. But they suspect you'll find out.
And I'll find out who killed the handyman.
Now, take it easy, Clay. It's not your fault the bank was robbed.
It's somebody's fault, Harris. 3 men ride into town, break into the bank, kill a man, and just ride out of town again. And you know why they thought they could get away with it? Because there's just me and 1 deputy to take care of the whole...
Sheriff Hollister, I'm Hope Jensen. I'd like to talk to you whenever...
Come in, man. This is Harris Clyburn, editor of the Epitaph.
Miss Jensen.
You got here just in time to stop me from blowing my top.
He means you almost got here in time.
I'll talk to you later. Just wait till you hear me on the subject of newspaper prices.
It's nice to meet you, Miss Jensen.
Thank you.
Will you sit down, ma'am? Now, how may I help you?
Sheriff. Look inside. Is it from the bank?
Maybe you better tell me.
Well, 2 men rode into our place this morning. With that, they gave it to my husband. He hid it. I watched. Later, I found it, and I brought it here. Sheriff, I don't know why Dan took it. I just want you to
Mrs.
help
Jensen,
him, please.
getting
I'm
upset
afraid.
isn't going to help. Now, please sit down. Now, Dan, he's your husband?
Yes. We have a farm 9 miles out on the Benson Road. These 3 men.
You said 2.
Oh, did I? Well, there were 3.
Then why did you say 2?
Well, only 2 rode in. The other man stood as a kind of lookout, I guess.
I see. Did you know them?
No. No, I don't know them.
Did your husband?
No.
Quint,
Yeah, Clay.
lock that in the safe. This is my deputy, Quint, Mrs. Jensen.
Ma'am?
Now, I suggest you stay here until I get back. Your husband, Dan, will be with me. Dan Jensen?
Yeah.
I'm Clay Hollister. You the sheriff? That's right. I'd like to talk to you for a minute. Your wife's in my office, Mr. Jensen.
Why?
She brought me something.
You know what? Well, what'd she bring you?
Money. A whole sack full of it. The money belongs to the Tombstone Bank. Would you like to tell me why you had it, Mr. Jensen? Your wife has already told me how you got it, but I want to hear it again from you. I'm waiting, Mr. Jensen.
Hope's in your office?
That's right.
Well, this is the truth, Sheriff. I kept the money because they threatened Hope. She didn't know that, but they meant it. I know them.
You do?
Yeah, I do.
Let's go.
Don't move, Sheriff. There are 2 guns pointed at you. So you told the law, huh, Danny?
No. Now listen to me a minute, Ben.
Listen? Listen to what? He give you our money, lawman?
Your money?
Where is it, Dan?
I don't know.
You don't. Get off that horse. You too, Dan. Take his guns. The sheriff even itches himself. Kill him. The money.
I haven't got it.
Who has? Where is it? Dad, find out where it is.
You're wasting your time, Ben.
How do you know?
Because it's where you can't get it.
Hold it. Where?
Back in Tombstone.
Is he telling us the truth? The money's back in Tombstone? How did you get it? Your wife. I warned you, Dan.
You can't hurt her. She's safe.
Safe, in Tombstone. So you got the money, huh, Sheriff? She brought it to you. Well, Sheriff, we've got you. Tell me, what do you think you're worth? I figured just about as much as you stole from us.
It might not work.
You better hope it does, Sheriff. Sit down. Let's see how well you can write, Sheriff.
You call it.
Being detained. Still alive. Give bearers the money, or I'm dead. Sign it. Clay Hollister. You write well, Sheriff.
You sound like you've had lots of experience with this sort of thing.
Todd, you and Sam take him into town. Get that money back. So if they don't, they've got a dead sheriff.
What do you mean, take him with us?
Just that. Ride right up to the sheriff's office, but one of you stay outside with him. Make it look like he's one of us.
Suppose he tries.
He won't, because one of you is going to be in a position to kill his wife. And I'll kill his friend here for sure. He knows that, don't you, Danny?
Suppose they try and follow us.
They won't. Make it clear, any tricks is no deal. They never get Hollister.
After we get the money, what about him?
Bring him back.
Yeah, then what?
Well, Danny Boy's going to ride with us for a while.
And?
I'll let you know later. Now get moving. A lot of money for a dead sheriff.
You sound real pleased, Ben.
Why not?
Well, the way I see it, the odds have changed. They're 1-to-1 now.
Later the same day, May 20, 1882.
A note from your sheriff.
Being detained but still alive. Give them the money or I'm dead. Clay Hollister. What's the meaning of this?
Just what it says. Hollister, he won't be back. Not unless we get the money. Dan outside. He told me to tell you that.
You're lying. Dan wouldn't say that.
Go to the door. Ask him yourself. But no further. I wouldn't. Because if I don't come out, the others will blast their way in here. And if we don't all come back, you do have a dead sheriff.
Dan, is it true? Is it true?
Do what he says. Give him the money.
You all heard him. The money.
Supposing we do give you the money. How do we know you won't kill him?
You don't. I guess that's a chance you'll have to take. Of course, you've got some time to think it over. I'm giving you 30 seconds, starting now.
I'll give him the money. Can't be any more killing. Tell him to give it to him.
You've only got 15 seconds.
Please give him the money.
Why? What guarantee can you give us they won't kill Clay even if we do?
He said so.
He did.
Time's up. What's it gonna be?
Quint, open the safe. Give him the money. You agree?
Yeah, I have to agree.
You did the right thing.
We'll soon see, won't we?
Yeah. Try anything. Follow me, and your sheriff's a dead man. Maybe they got lost, Ben. Or maybe you've got this thing figured all wrong.
What do you mean?
Well, if your boys like money as much as you do, they might be on their way over the border with it right now.
Don't try that on me, Hollister.
Well, you can't blame them. Everything they know, they learn from you.
Shut up.
Yeah, and once they're over the border, they're rich men. And you? You'll just be a killer who's gonna hang for his killing.
I'm warning you, Hollister.
Well, you better do it fast. Because if your boys are on their way back here and my deputy is following them, they might hear the shot. They'd come riding in here.
You're gonna die. I'm gonna kill you right now.
No, you're not. Not until you get your money, you're not.
You see, you might need me. They might demand another note before they turned it over to you.
Yeah, you got that figured right. It's getting late.
Frankly, I'm in no hurry for him to get back. The odds are still 1 to 1.
But I've got the gun.
I can wait. Can you?
We haven't much time. Why did you come to the sheriff, Miss Jensen? Who sent you?
No one sent me.
Did your husband send you?
No. And he didn't kill the man in the robbery because he wasn't there.
If what you say is true, he can't be too deeply involved. Not yet. At most, he's an accessory to a robbery.
What are you trying to say?
Only that if you know anything that you're not telling us about the men involved in this, you'd be helping your husband by saying so.
Well, maybe you're right. But there's a man dead. And if Dan had anything to do with it, they might hang him, and I can't help hang my husband.
And what happens to him if Clay Hollister is killed?
I can't tell you anything.
And your husband? You feel you're helping him?
I don't know. All I know is he's alive, and I want to make sure that he stays that way. At any cost.
Tell me one thing. How do you decide?
Decide what?
Who's to live and who's to die? That's what you're doing, you know. And you haven't the right. No one has.
I don't care who lives or dies. I only care about Dan and me.
So you're willing to kill someone who tried to help him and you?
No, I'm not.
Yes. Yes, you are.
Oh.
I'm sorry, Miss Jensen. I don't want to hurt you. But I do want to save a life.
There were 3 men. 2 of them you've seen. I don't know them, but the leader is a man called Ben. Ben Jensen. He's Dan's brother.
His brother?
He has a place out near ours, to the east.
The first place to the east?
Yes. It's best you approach it from the corral side.
What are you doing?
Nothing.
Let me see it. You think you're smart, don't you?
One to 1 and no gun.
I like it that way.
I'll get him.
your gun, Todd.
Forget it. On your feet.
Hold it!
Drop the gun. Where's Dan Jensen?
He's wounded. The editor's back there with him.
Take care of these two. There's one more inside that I want to see to personally.
Editor, there is no excuse. You know the price of newspaper.
Sheriff, I just came from the hospital and Dan's going to be all right.
Oh, good.
Looks like our troubles are over. I want to thank you.
Well, at least Ben Jensen won't be troubling you anymore. Looks like he'll be staying right here for good.
I'm sorry I had to be so rough, Miss Jensen, but I'm surprised.
You're surprised?
Well, if you thought your husband was being pressured by someone, why didn't you talk it over with him? Like a husband and wife.
You never would have thought he was part of that gang if you had.
Well, maybe it's a lesson that Dan and I have learned. Well, goodbye and thanks again. You wives must be terribly understanding. I mean, for you to be able to tell them everything.
Oh, well, I'm not.
Me either.
I didn't think so.
Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be. Whistle a tune that'll carry me to Tombstone territory. If your past has run afoul of the law, it's a handy place to be. 'Cause your future's just as good as your draw in Tombstone territory. Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be, to Tombstone territory.
Huachuca and Tombstone, Arizona Territory. Three grimly determined men struggled with two strange objects to a high point overlooking the pass.
They ain't even gonna have a chance to scatter.
Yeah, you act like you can't wait to use it.
Stand back. Stand back.
An actual account from the pages of my newspaper, the Tombstone Epitaph. This is the way it happened, in the town too tough to die.
Tombstone territory.
Early morning, August 12. The men carefully concealed their Gatling gun, the most vicious weapon of the times. 10 revolving barrels to spout death and destruction, capable of wiping out a whole detachment of men.
All right. Cold camp, no fires, and stay under cover till I get back.
When'll that be?
I don't know. I'll get more cartridges for the gun and find out when the Army's going to pick up that payroll money.
How sure are you that the Army will be traveling fast here?
They always use that road.
Yeah. I'll be back.
Toby, you know you might get into trouble riding around with that hot temper of yours. Maybe you ought to take me with you, huh?
Maybe you ought to get off my back, Quince.
Sam Colby rode into Tombstone, intent on information concerning the Army payroll. When he saw me entering the epitaph, he decided to seek other information. Colby. Hello, Sam.
Hello, Clyburn. Been a long time, hasn't it?
Yeah, a long time. You haven't changed much, Sam, being out of things for 5 years.
Well, I counted them. Kansas State Prison, but I've learned my lesson. I'll never try robbing a bank again. Clyburn, what happened to Sarah Medford?
Well, now, you didn't come all this way to ask me that, did you,
I
Sam?
didn't even know you were in this town.
You can't do yourself or Tombstone any good. Why don't you move on, Sam?
Well, the last time you said those words to me, we were in Belle Plaine, Kansas. You were running another crummy newspaper there, and you said I was no good for the town.
Or for her. I've got nothing against you, Sam. You've paid your price to society. If you need any money...
I don't want your money. I want to know where Sarah Medford is. You were her friend. She'd have written to you.
Forget her. You're not even sure if she's alive.
I've never been sure of anything in my life, except that someday I'm going to find her. Now, where is she?
I wouldn't tell you if I knew.
Now, maybe you... Maybe she's in Tombstone already. Is that it? Huh? All right, what's going on?
It's all right, Clay.
All right. What's your name?
Colby. Sam Colby.
There are no charges, Clay. I'm not signing any complaint.
Oh, I suppose you two were just breaking up the place for exercise.
I'd consider it a favor if you wouldn't do anything about this, Clay. It's my problem.
You heard what the man said. It's his problem.
He said feed his horse, but don't take the saddle off.
Did he say where he came from?
No. Made a trip to the gun shop and back, then took off again.
A gun shop, huh? .45-70.
What would he be doing with them?
Well, I don't know. The only thing they fit's the old single-shot carbine. Must have 300 rounds. Take him a long time to shoot those up one at a time.
You got enough deputies lined up. Stop any trouble. Stop worrying.
I'll stop worrying when the Army picks up that shipment of theirs.
Yeah. $50,000.
You just keep that badge of yours under your vest. I don't want anybody to know this town's planted.
Drown the memory of a bad breakfast.
Who'd you say you were looking for, a man or woman?
Woman. I figure she may be in this town working as a seamstress.
What's her name?
Medford. Sarah Medford. She's real pretty. Dark black hair and beautiful brown eyes. When she talks, it's kind of like music.
They all sound like music, mister. A seamstress with black hair.
Yeah.
I know one.
Yeah?
Seems she is called Sarah.
Well, where is she?
You came a long way for nothing, maybe. This one's about to be married. Yeah, picked herself an army fella down at the fort.
Where's she live?
I think it's a greenhouse at the end of First Street.
Yeah, thanks.
But I can't just leave. What would Paul think? Where would I go?
There's a night coach leaving for Bisbee. Paul isn't due back here for 3 days. You told me yourself he's on special duty at the fort all this week. I'm sticking in my 2 cents, Sarah, because I don't want to see you have to face this town if Sam Colby brings out the past. Don't stay here and pay for it twice.
All right, Harris.
You can stay with my sister Anne. Return here on Sunday. Colby should be gone by then.
Harris, how is he? How does he look?
What?
Oh, I'm not in love with him anymore. I don't have to prove that to you. Paul and I are going to start a new life together, and I wouldn't change that for anything in the world.
Hello, Sarah. Clyburn, you always lie to visitors when they come to town. Get out.
Leave her alone, Sam.
It's all right, Harris. It's all right.
All right, Sarah.
Well, you better have a drink on this. After 5 years, looks like I got here just in time.
Our time ran out a long time ago, Sam.
I heard you were about to get married. Well, that's no problem. No man ever gets anything without taking it from another.
That's what you thought when you asked me to marry you. That we'd start out on money you robbed from a bank.
Honey, one mistake, and you run out on me.
Why did it have to be that one?
Why didn't you wait for me?
For you to get out of jail? And promise me again you'd take a job and stop being wild?
Oh, honey, you used to love me for being wild.
So we'll move on. And you'll start over once more. We'll find a new life somewhere further out west. Is that it?
We'll make it this time. They'll just leave us alone. Talk about luck. You come into town for one thing and you find another.
If you didn't know I was here, what are you doing in Tombstone?
For one fancy big payroll, that's all I need. And from then on, it's a straight and narrow for you and me. Well, think of it, $50,000. That'll buy you a lot of pearl button shoes from St. Louis. That'll give you a big red dress with 1,000,000 yards of lace on it.
Another robbery? Is that what you're offering me, Sam? Face it, you're no good. You're no good.
Colby said to keep it covered.
Why don't you stop telling me what Colby said? Yeah, they won't even know what hit him. Let's keep him, Colby.
You're getting real itchy, ain't you, Quince?
I don't trust him. How come he knew about that Army payroll being in Tombstone? Yet he didn't know when they were picking it up.
Well, how much information do you want him to have? It was lucky that when he broke into that stage office last week that he saw the manifest. If he hadn't, he wouldn't even have known that they were shipping the money. Where are you going?
Going into Tombstone, get myself a drink.
He ain't gonna like it.
I hope he tries to tell me that.
Late morning, August 12, 1886.
Oh, Harris.
Well, it seems to be going smoothly enough. You worry too much about these payroll transfers.
Maybe. What do you know about Colby over there?
Well, what do you mean? What do I know?
Paul! Well, Harris. It's all yours, Lieutenant.
Thank you, Clay.
My pleasure. I'll just bill the Army for my 3 extra deputies.
Fair enough. Prepare to mount.
So you're the one drew the assignment this time. Didn't expect you in for another 3 days.
This is official business and a quick trip. Tell Sarah I'll see her Sunday, huh?
Be glad to.
Paul. You aren't leaving.
I'm afraid so, darling. There really wasn't time to come by. What's the matter?
Nothing. I just want you to hold me for a moment.
Something wrong?
No, I'm just glad to see you. Why are you in town anyway?
Quick assignment. $50,000 payroll for the fort. Now I've got to go. See you Sunday.
Wagon, hold! Sing the left horse, place away!
50,000. Paul, wait! Don't go! You can't go!
All right, Harris. What do you know about Colby?
Well, I knew him and Sarah back in Belle Plaine, Kansas.
Yeah?
Everybody thought they'd be married. Then Colby robbed a bank. Some thought she harbored him. He got caught and sent to prison. Anyway, she got a bad name.
Well, for a newspaper man, you're kind of close with your information.
Well, when I came to Tombstone, she followed me. Her folks were dead. She had no other family. Guess I was her only friend. Then she met Paul Crane.
Well, why all the secrecy?
Whatever mistakes she made back in Belle Plaine lie buried. That's why I didn't want anything to come out in the open here.
I don't know.
Sam. I'll go away with you, Sam. I'll go away with you tonight. There's only one thing I'm asking. Don't rob that payroll.
You mean you want me even without money?
This time you don't have to do anything. No robberies.
You really do love him, don't you, Sarah? You'd do anything to save his life, hmm?
I'll never leave you, Sam. If only you'll do as I ask.
All right. Go home and pack. I'll pick you up tonight.
Is everything all right?
Everything is just fine. Yes, sir, just fine.
Anything you want to tell me?
No.
Hey, Amos, saddle up Mormon for me, will you?
You bet. Well, he's leaving town. That's good.
Yeah? With a saddlebag full of 45-70s?
Afternoon, August 12th. The payroll wagon under heavy guard left Tombstone on a roundabout road to Fort Huachuca. Quince rode hard to bypass the payroll wagon and set up the ambush with a deadly Gatling gun.
About time you were getting back. Where's Colby?
He'll be here. If you don't, all the better.
After his conversation with Sarah Medford, there was a strange determination about Sam Colby's ride.
Detail, halt!
Deliberation marked each mile of Lieutenant Crane's journey. Scouts were sent in ahead through every ravine as a precaution.
Forward! Ho!
Are they? Oh, about a half a mile, maybe. Come on, let's get those clips.
Clay Hollister, puzzled by Colby's actions, trailed the ex-convict. His suspicions grew as he observed that Colby and another rider were paralleling the route taken by the military detachment.
All right, where are the cartridges, Colby?
The deal's off.
What?
The Army's not taking the money through this way. They took it to Fort Huachuca by stage. You can topple that thing into the canyon for all the good it's gonna do us. Sorry, boys. Looks like we just run out of luck. Maybe we'll get together on something sometime, huh?
Will we, Colby? Who are you trying to double-cross? I seen him pick up that money, Colby. I seen him! Colby, I was in Tombstone.
I wouldn't use it, Quince.
Oh, I'm gonna chop you up real good, Colby.
You shoot that gun, you won't have a chance. They're not so far away that they won't hear it.
He's right. Let him go, let him go. He won't get 100 yards. Here, let's get this gun around.
Clay suddenly came upon Colby, who had made it to the bottom of the pass with Quince's knife in his back.
Army payroll. Gatling gun up there. Tell Sarah I didn't.
There they come. 50 yards.
Take cover!
Who's shooting at him? Spreading out. Get around! Somebody we're after.
Gatling gun?
Army will be glad to get it back.
Bill, Jenkins, bring that gun down here. Never would have made it if you hadn't fired those warning shots.
First time I ever drew down on the U.S. Army. Gun shoots a little high.
How'd you know about that?
I didn't know about it. I followed a hunch. And a man.
It's a good thing you did. I'll check with you Sunday. I'm coming in to see Sarah.
She'll be glad to see you.
Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be, whistle a tune that'll carry me to Tombstone territory. If your past has run afoul of the law, it's a handy place to be, 'cause your future's just as good as your draw in Tombstone territory. Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be, whistle a tune that'll carry me to Tombstone territory.